What's up, it's your boy jonni.shreve. I have BB promos to tell like it is, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast Uncut. This time we're talking about Noel Deyzel almost injuring himself. Before we get started, guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and put the post notifications on, so when I put a video, you'll be the first ones to get it. Also, guys, hit the description below, guys, and hit all those links and discount codes that will help save your life or change your life. Anyway, let's get her started. So the premise is this. Obviously, you guys probably see Noel Deyzel's latest video, how he almost injured himself training with layer wheels. But this is a really good video I can do to give you guys a reminder that ego lifting will be the demise of you and all of your gains. Let's watch and let's learn and let's keep it going.
So we started off doing a front squat, and a few sets in, I attempted 4 plates, and I failed.
All right, so a couple things we're going to talk about right now right off the bat. Front squatting. I am not a fan of front squatting with your hands crossed. Reason being is when you cross your hands, your back rolls, and your back basically isn't able to be in a good neutral spine. So I don't do front squats because I can't get in the proper front rack position because my mobility isn't there yet. Hence the reason why I'm changing a lot of my goals in training and, steroid use, so I can kind of lose a little bit of muscle, so I can be a little more agile and mobile to do a lot more of what I want to do when it comes to being an overall better rounded athlete. Again, when I talk about being with a training partner, you're not to be a fanboy, you're there to help each other. Iron sharpens iron. So when you're in the gym with your training partner, you are there to match each other in effort, not in weight, because you're obviously going to be in the gym with someone who might be stronger than you or whatnot. So you have to be in that mindset that I'm going to out-train my partner, not outlift them. That's a big difference, right? Outlifting and out-training is completely different. Effort. Train, match in effort, or try to exceed in effort. That gives you guys a little more of a healthier competitive relationship where, you got your own set of weights, he got his own set of weights, and you're just trying to match each other in effort, making sure you can reach the max sets or failing reps or whatever it is together, not necessarily being like, I'm going to outlift you, because that's basically how you get injured.
Now when the bar slipped off me, panic set in because I felt a pain in my bicep. The very same bicep I tore 1 year ago.
That little twinge in your stomach that you feel when you're like, listen to it. Listen to that little gut feeling that says, do not do this. Don't do it. It's like, hey man, that might be a little too much weight. Listen to it. It's going to save you. And it obviously saved him from being very, very injured.
Now to give you some context, I haven't done a front squat in quite some time. I generally prefer the back squat as I do for most of my workouts. Now here's where the problem comes in and where you can learn. Know your situation. Since landing here in Dubai, I haven't had any time to rest. I was facing quite a bit of stress at the time. Black Friday, end of the year closing for my software company, and the launch of my new pre-workout. And my sleep schedule has been super disruptive.
I've been there a few times. When I head out to Olympia or whatever expo, sometimes I'm changing different time zones. And especially when I'm going and I'm losing time and I'm basically somewhere where it feels like it's later than it is because, when I go to say Vegas and it's 4 hours earlier than where I'm at, you get off the plane, you can't wait to go train with all these guys, girls, circles, whatever, go to different gyms, all these awesome training facilities you can go to. And then you feel dead tired. And it happens all the time. Know your limits, know your situation, know your environment. Your body is adapted to your overall stimulus, to your environment. So it knows where it's going to go. It knows what days of the week you're going to train a certain body part. It knows where it's going to train. It has time to adapt. When you go to different environments, your body hasn't adapted yet. And that will change a lot of how you perform. Believe it or not. You might be like, hey, sometimes you you go to the gym you're used to, and then you might go even the same area to a different gym. It might be different equipment, different layout, and you're just not in the same groove. That can play effect to your overall performance. So just be smart about those things.
Know your limits, especially if you're training with someone stronger than you, because there is most likely going to be a pressure to keep up. I'm a bodybuilder and it's been a while since I've lifted for PRs, all because of fear of injury. I used to follow the approach of only lifting heavy, and that resulted in me tearing numerous muscles and tendons.
What I like about Noel Deyzel is he's going to say exactly what it is. He's going to say things that help save you guys from making the same mistakes he's made. And that's what good influencers and coaches and trainers do. They tried to help those avoid the same mistakes, make the same mistakes that they have. Same with myself. And you have to know your limits. Go into the gym to match your partner in effort, not in weight. There's always going to be somebody stronger than you. But that's their strong. It's not your strong. Know the difference between your strong and their strong. And the difference is, it's you. You got to know who you are. Hold on to who you are. Hold your ground and tell your ego to piss off.
Front squatting that weight was a little out of my reach. But in the back of my mind, I remembered all the times doing the same weight before. But this situation was different, and I overestimated my current limits.
Now I'm going to say something real quick, though. I mean, like, you're going to go train with a guy like Larry Wheels, who's been injured countless times. I don't know how many videos we've seen this guy being injured, torn his pec. Torn his shoulder, torn his quad, knee, whatever. And then you're going to go in there and try and live with a guy that's been injured before? You know what I mean? Like, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? So maybe pick your partners a little more wisely, right?
Fail safe. If you find yourself in a situation where you're lifting for a PR or just lifting heavy, do not hold on if things go south. When I felt the instability and the slipping of the bar, I just threw it. Because if I held on, I probably would have crumbled. And the same thing goes for other exercises. Rather look like a total douchebag throwing your weights to the ground than tearing something.
It is totally, that is the best advice he's given right there. I mean, totally avoid the situation to begin with. But when I coach, when I train people, you know, if we have bumper plates, I'll literally I'll take a bar and just drop it. I'm like, do not try to save the plates. Don't save the bar. Save yourself. The bars, the dumbbells, the plates, they aren't alive. They're not going to get injured. They're easily replaceable if they break. You aren't, right? If you get injured, you can't train, can't go to work, can't perform, all those good things that you cannot do when you're injured. You are no good if you're injured. So save yourself, not the weight.
Really, we're only lifting heavy weights in order to grow muscle. As a bodybuilder, you need to understand our segment of the industry is form over function, and that is completely okay. Most of the time, you'll activate your muscles more and get a better contraction, all from just lowering the weights. So if you haven't decided on what approach you want to take, you need to.
Very, very true. I said this a lot of times. You guys probably seen a couple of the podcasts that I've done. When it comes to training, if you are not an athlete who is training to perform like football, baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey, gymnastics, Olympic lifting, powerlifting, NASCAR driving, supercross, whatever it is, you know, snowboarding, downhill skiing, all of those sports require you to train a certain way to be explosive, to be functional. That requires sometimes pushing limits in a sense. Unless you're one of those athletes, you're just training to look good. And to train to look good does not require you to train in 85 to 90% of your 1 rep max. There's no point of it. When it comes to sarcoplasmic training, like sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, you're training about 75 to 80% of your 1 rep max. So that means the load isn't as heavy, but it's challenging enough for you to be able to put yourself under load, lowering the weight to stimulate muscle growth. Then there's myofibular hypertrophy, where you're training a lot heavier, lower reps, higher weight, which is good to do in certain blocks, but not that often, right? It's not required. You do not need to lift a bunch of heavy weight to stimulate muscle growth or to change your overall physique. Now, if you're trying to jump the highest, lift the most, you know, run the fastest, sometimes it might require you to go to those limits and push yourself that way, but it's not required to look good in clothes or naked. Just saying, we have to be smart about what we're doing.
Is it bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting, or a mix? Give yourself that direction and you can train for it.
Now, there's no problem doing powerlifting movements. There's no problem doing Olympic lifting movements. There is an issue doing powerlifting weights and Olympic lifting weights. Doing PRs is not required for you to build muscle. It's not. And it won't help you build muscle. To be honest, it's going to help you lift that weight, right? If you want to build more muscle, yes, you can build muscle, stimulate muscle growth. Can't be wrong there. But when it comes to overall building muscle, you want to stimulate muscle growth, not tax your CNS. And that's basically what you're doing when lifting super heavy like that in the first place. So
training with Larry was a big deal for me. I mean, he is the Larry Wheels. More than anything, I love training with people outside of the direct bodybuilding world. I love trying and learning how other people do things. Because every person we meet and come across, we can learn something from. Our life is short, and you should aim to be a sponge so you can soak up new ideas. Don't be afraid to try new things and challenge your own ideology. More than anything, in this situation, I hope that you can learn from my mistakes.
Hey, and that's basically it. That's like one of the best videos I've seen for you guys to really learn from people like that. Like there's a bunch of us on YouTube that are really trying to help, you know, up and coming bodybuilders or physique competitors, or just people who just want to look good and be in shape. We're trying to give you guys lessons and learning from our mistakes and trying to teach you guys to do better than what we did. That's basically what we're trying to do, right? We're almost acting like parents in a sense. We give a shit because we didn't care. We wouldn't be getting all this information for free, literally. And when it comes down to it, I do love training with different athletes. I love training with different types of athletes. But again, when it comes down to it, know your limits. Know what you can lift. If you're lifting with a power lifter, that's fine. But you don't have to lift the same way he lifts or she lifts or the circle lifts. If you're lifting with a, bodybuilder who's super strong, if you're lifting with someone like Ian Valera, you don't have to lift the same way he lifts. You can do the same movements he does, but you can just basically lift the way that you know how to lift to stimulate the growth that you know you need to create the physique that you want, which doesn't require you to be doing 1 rep maxes. Anyway, guys, it's going to cut off right there. A little short video for you guys. Just to reiterate, don't ego lift. Leave the ego at the door when you go to the gym. Have your ego somewhere else. Just not in the gym. Or just not an ego, period. I don't know. Just keep it out of the gym. It'll keep you safe. Anyway, guys, hope you guys liked the video, guys. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You're going to become what I tell like it is. Transparent, vulnerable truth. Coaching, jonni.shreve.com. Book yourself a phone consult, 15 to 30 minutes. After those 30 or 50 minutes, I deduct the phone consult up to any package that you pick, whether it's a one-time plan or a recurring plan. Also use my code Johnny15 for 50% off the Power 13 cookbook, and use my link for HELT supplements. Every time you guys use that link, this channel gets paid. It helps your boy out. Help support the page. Help support this channel, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Also, you guys use my code Johnny30 for Let's Get Checked. Make sure you guys are healthy on the inside as well as the outside. And guys, my merch is up. It's ready to go. Go to my site right now and grab yourself some merch, and also obviously the Push for Legs training ebook. Grab it right now, guys. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. Send me your progress pics, your foodie pics, and your training clips, and I'll repost it for you guys because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.